Zach Walker.
Good morning. Welcome into Hometown Heartbeat. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host, Zach Walker. Check it in for the Monday morning edition. If you're listening to us live on the radio, good morning. Hope you had a good weekend. Podcast listeners, I love you. You're the best. Live stream, welcome on in here. You see an unfamiliar face. We will get to that in a minute. But before we do, let us first check in with producer Connor. Connor, what's going on this morning, buddy?
Not much. Monday morning. A little tired.
Connor,
I mean, it's going to be my usual sign on in the morning.
Let's be honest. Monday mornings are not your favorite.
I mean, I wouldn't describe myself as, like, not a Monday person, but it's like,
But you also wouldn't say you are a Monday person,
yeah.
which would make you kind of inherently not a Monday person.
I think that there's an ambiguous middle ground to be found.
You love ambiguity, is what I'm learning, which is weird because you're such a smart, like, logic, straightforward science, math, intelligent kid. Ambiguity, that must be a thing of Generation Z. I'm kidding. Good morning, Connor. Good morning. Also checking in with DJ Dallas. What's up, Dallas?
Nothing much. Just, chilling, doing my job.
Just chilling. Like a Gen Zer chilling. I don't even chilling. Where did that? Because that was a thing back when I was still cool, like you.
Well, I guess that's where it came from then.
Stuck around a long time.
Yeah, I think that's just a normal word. Everybody uses it now. How are you doing this morning?
But it's not. Is it really a normal word? Chillin'? Is it even a real word? Let's go to Connor for the language. Clarification. That's a. You know what? We just came up with another segment. We're going to take slang words, and we're going to have Connor break them down for us on a regular basis. Connor, chillin'. CHILLIN, to be used in a sentence. Yo, dog, we just chillin'. Is that a word?
Sure. I think I'm pretty open to slang, even if I don't use it myself. It's like anything that is used by a group of people and has meaning.
That might be language. But is it a word? Like, is it English? Like, is it Merriam-Webster? Would it agree with you?
Probably, yeah. They've adopted a lot of slang words.
They have.
I feel like our society is headed
what makes the dictionary inherently the judge, jury, and executioner of what is or is not a word?
Connor,
what makes
I'm
something
surprised.
a word is when people use it.
I'm so surprised by your passionate defense of certain uses of slang. I love it, though. Golly, I love it. I got more text messages about your stirring rendition of defining, whatever our last conversation was. People really liked it. So no, see, you added a G. All right, so he's looking it up. Chillin' without the G.
But Google added the G.
Okay, so without the G, that's my question. It's not with the G. I know that's a word. I've got some rosé chilling in the fridge.
Well, that's. If any word with an ing, if you knock off the G, it's just an alternate pronunciation.
Yeah, most people just knock off the G now. Like, that's just how it goes.
My whole point in that is that doesn't make it intelligent.
Nobody said it was intelligent.
Okay, well, as long as we can agree on that, I'm in good shape. All right, we got to get over to my left here. So last week, folks, you heard your big, beautiful, bearded host issue a challenge, an edict, let's see, maybe an invitation. And I said, I think we would probably consider taking a complete stranger off the street from our listenership, bringing him into the studio, him or her, and giving him an opportunity to co-host the show. And by golly, we had a taker. Folks, I'd like to introduce to you your second big, beautiful, bearded tryout host, Derek Cox. Derek, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, good morning. What's going on?
Derek said, I'm 2 parts nervous, 1 part excited. I said, there's nothing to be nervous about. We make a living off low expectations. Derek, you got to talk me through this, man. So you're listening to this crazy bearded guy on the radio, and he's like, I think I'd take a complete stranger off the street and let him come co-host a show with me. And you said, I think I'd like to do that. What in the world would possess a man to want to do that?
So when I was in the Army, I was actually the big voice, we called it, in Kuwait when I was stationed in a combat support hospital. Hearing myself on the loudspeaker pretty much created this dream I had to actually hear myself on the airwaves.
Okay.
But my career path took me down a different way.
And then I was able to just dole out that dream. I'm a dream weaver over here.
That's why I'm here.
Dream weaver.
Oh, don't stop.
Please stop. I think we just lost a lot of listeners right there.
I think we had people tune in. Actually, that was so good. I'm afraid Facebook's going to shut down our stream because we're using music that's not ours. I think their algorithm might pick up on that one. It was so pretty. Okay, nothing. All right, good deal. Derek, so tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Outside of the fact that you're charming, bearded, handsome, outside of the normal things, tell us a little bit about who you are, man.
A prior vet, U.S. Army. Then I did a couple years, about 8 in the Air National Guard in Alaska. Traveled quite a bit and ended up in Alaska for about 10 years. Got married, and then didn't want to be there anymore. So
did you ever stay in an igloo like an Eskimo?
Never stayed in an igloo, but I did stay in some pretty rural locations in Alaska.
I've always wanted to stay in an igloo. I feel like it would be fun. Make the big blocks out of the snow. They do it on Discovery Channel all the time.
Hotels.
It can't be that hard.
There's like hotels.
Oh no, I want to do it like in the wild.
You want to make your own.
Glenn Byram checking in. Good morning, Glenn. How are you today, buddy? Thanks for joining us. If you're not joining us on the live stream, you need to be, because the beauty of the beard has been doubled this morning. And so the mom always said I had a face for radio, and now there's 2 of me. So go to thehometownheartbeat.com, click at the top, watch live, listen live, or download the podcast. I have to ask you a question, Derek, and your answer to this may dictate if I kick you out of the studio now or let you stay for the rest of the show. Are you a subscriber to our podcast?
Yes.
He's a liar. He's a terrible liar. We will remedy that in the first break. I can assure you of that, because it is important that you go and do that. So if you're listening to the show and you like the show and you want to keep the show on the air, I would highly recommend that you go to iTunes or Apple Podcast or wherever you listen to your podcast. Connor, what was the name of the obscure app that you listen to? Overcast. You could go to Overcast. You could go to Stitcher, I think. I don't know. I just heard that on a podcast I listened to this morning. That may not be true, so don't go there. Go there. Search for Hometown Heartbeat with Zach Walker. Click subscribe. Give us a rating. Share it with your friends. Look at that. He's going to be allowed to stay, folks. He has execute. He has done so. It's a Monday morning. I actually, believe it or not, have lots of energy today.
Me too. I think it's because it's Monday. We had the weekend. We're kind of juiced.
See, but Mondays are never. And trust me, I've got no reason to be awake this morning. My burglar alarm went off last night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Woo, 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 like that, real loud. Wow. Like I had just gotten to sleep. It's never gone off before. Never.
Not even a test?
I mean, testing, yeah. But I'm talking about like.
Never.
We set motion sensor. I mean, dude, my house is Fort Knox, bro. Like we are. Cameras and I take my security very seriously, and we're very well armed. In fact, I had a hard time picking which firearm to clear the house with. But it was between the AR and the big full size 9 with the big light on it, and I just didn't know which one, so I just took both. But we'll get to that story here in a little bit. But there is nothing worse than literally I just laid down. It was probably, I think I went to bed at like 9:15, 9:20 last night, which is. It's a little later than I'd like to go to bed, but on a Sunday night, we watched a little bit of Double Shot at Love with Paulie D and Vinny from Jersey Shore. He's too young for Jersey Shore. I'm just happy to have somebody else who's old enough that can, when I reference some of these things that I reference, these guys look at me like I've got something growing out of my forehead.
Yeah, the boomers don't get a lot of references.
No, and so, how old are you?
I'm 39.
Okay, so you're not a millennial, unfortunately, like I am. I got lumped into that group.
Poor guy.
Yeah, no, I have millennial guilt. I don't have any white guilt, but I definitely have millennial guilt. And there is no millennial privilege. I know that for sure.
You get to play the victim card a lot.
Oh, and we get to be offended by whatever we want.
Yes.
So that's always.
You were born with beautifully soft skin.
I like this guy. He's doing good. He's doing good so far. My wife joined me this morning, babe. I was just telling him all about our burglar alarm situation, which we'll dive into in depth a little bit here later. We've got plenty of things to follow. When we come back from break, we will do our Chicago weekend violence update and start there and move throughout our show. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat with your big, beautiful bearded host, Zach Walker, co-host, trying out for the day, Derek Cox, producer Connor, and DJ Dallas. TheHometownHeartbeat.com. Watch live at the top. We'll be right back.
If you're thinking about selling your house, now is absolutely the time to do it. But before you do that, you need to call Cotton Row Interiors at 256-BUY-SELL. Cotton Row Interiors is the premier interior design and home staging service in the Southeast. Leah Carter, our lead designer, has years of experience and a wealth of knowledge when it comes to design and staging your home. Staging your home is the key to selling your house quickly and for a premium price. Statistics show that houses that have been staged can sell up to 30 times faster than those that are unstaged, and the sale price can balloon by as much as 20%. It's honestly a no-brainer. Call Leah today at 256-BUY-SELL to schedule your free in-home design consultation today. Get that HGTV home that you've always dreamed of, regardless of your budget. Again, call Cotton Row Interiors today at 256-BUY-SELL. So 256-BUYSELL.
Hey everybody, this is producer Connor from the smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat, as well as the Dale Jackson Show live stream. And if you haven't yet, you need to reach out to our friends at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a local business owner, chances are that you know how important content creation and digital marketing are in these unprecedented times. Our friends at Cotton Row Productions are the only people trusted by both the Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat when it comes to video, podcasting, and live streaming. They also have video packages and content creation services for every budget. Video doesn't have to be expensive, but with Cotton Row Productions, it will be effective. For a flat monthly fee, get high-quality digital media content that will catapult your business from out of touch to in demand. Don't neglect your digital footprint and call Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355 and tell them producer Connor sent you. Again, that's Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Get started on your path to social media dominance with our friends at Cotton Row Productions today.
Listen, if there's one thing I know, people don't always live what they profess with their mouth, but they absolutely live what they truly believe in their heart.
Tune into Hometown Heartbeat, the smartest show on radio every day from 5 to 7.
Look, this push to erase history, to erase the past, to erase white Jesus, it's all a little bit crazy.
With the biggest, boldest, most bearded host, Zach Walker.
The bottom line is this. If you follow the money from BLM, from Black Lives Matter, you find it ending up in the pockets of white Democrats. And really, there's nothing consistent about that, but rather it's an attempt to patronize the entire community. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a church creative or pastor and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Row Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know, and they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, boisterous, bearded host from Hometown Heartbeat, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. Let me tell you something. We are so excited to be joining you guys on the radio, on the live stream, on the podcast, on the website, on the interweb, on the Facebox, on the Tweetergram. We are fired up. And you should be too, because it's one of the only places you can get real truth in the media. So make sure that you go to thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com, and at the top, click Listen Live, Watch Live, or Podcast. Every day the archive comes out, no commercials. You can get smarter and not have to listen to ads. Make sure you join us every day, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. That's thehometownheartbeat.com. Stay classy, San Diego.
It's your news now. WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I'm your big, beautiful, bearded host, Zach Walker, joined by producer Connor, DJ Dallas, and our guest host, the big, the beautiful, the bearded Derek Cox. Derek, what's going on, buddy?
You keep calling me big. I'm
Yeah,
probably
I
going to
know.
get offended in a minute.
Well,
I'm already little.
you would have to be a little younger for me to validate your offense, as it were. If you haven't joined us yet on Facebook this morning, you ought to. What was that crazy noise?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, let's hope it doesn't happen again. if you are joining us this morning, join us live on Facebook or YouTube as we live stream today. You can get a peek in the studio here. There's Dallas waving as he eats, which is, eating on radio. It's right there. It's a very professional thing to do here in the studio. Yeah, we are professionals. Don't let anybody else fool you. Guess what? Today you've got 5 hours of me because I've got Dale's show today while he's out, so I'll be here for a while today. You get to stick with me throughout the day, which you'll be thankful for because you got the smartest show in radio for 5 consecutive hours. So let's go ahead and jump into it. It is Monday morning, and as you well know, it means it's time to get our weekend violence report from Chicago. This week in Chicago, we have 58 people wounded, 9 people dead, to include a 10 and 11-year-old kid in a drive-by, senseless violence. Those black lives apparently do not matter. And that will lead us to another segment today because Don Lemon went ahead and explained why that doesn't matter to black lives. He actually, on the air, he actually said some black lives are more important than other black lives, which I found to be a unique perspective from a black man. But this is also the man that said Michelle Obama was hot. And as a gay man, that probably not the best thing he could have said for her. Because, anyways, that's neither here nor there. It's early, 5:22, so we can get away with stuff like that. So no, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, Derek, as you may or may not know, on Mondays we always check into Chicago. We always want to go and see what's going on in the city of brotherly love. That's actually not Chicago, but that's Philly, isn't it? Yes. Philly's brotherly love, yeah, but it just sounded good at the time. And so, I want to ask you this question. I mean, you're a veteran like myself. We both served this great country in the Army. And what was your MOS?
31 Chuck. Well,
Okay.
31 uniform.
Okay, I was a 68 whiskey. I was a medic, old doc. I was everybody's favorite, as you well know, especially after a long night out. Everybody wants an IV. Got really good at that. Of course, now I didn't partake in that, but
I got my compact medic badge. My own personal IV bag right there in the car, always.
My man he stays ready. He sounds a lot like me, actually. You and I probably. I bet if a crazy time hit the world, and you and I, banded together, we'd probably have enough supplies and materials for a long time.
Yeah, me too. I think we could just all work together to survive.
There it is.
Okay, so let's play this game. Let's play this game then. Let's play this game. I was going to ask him a question about Chicago, but you've taken me to a far more interesting commentary here. So let's consider right now, today, something crazy happens, okay? And we're going to have a compound. We got to have a compound, right? So in order to be on our compound, you have to have some valuable skill set, right? Like you would bring to the table at a minimum. It sounds like you've got supplies. Sounds like you probably have ammunition and firearms like I do. It sounds like you have some medical stuff. Do you have some hunting abilities?
No.
No hunting abilities?
Never.
Okay.
I've always wanted to, but the cost of admission to me scares me.
Well, this year, I'll help you out on that, okay? I'll take you deer hunting and show you how to do that. That's easy. So apparently I'm the hunter here, okay? So I'm going to be the hunter. He's got some other skills. So Dallas just said, well, I'd like to come too. Okay, Dallas, what do you bring to the table?
I'm a real team player. I'll sacrifice myself for the team if need be. I'll go out there and gather. You can be the hunter. I'll be the gatherer.
Oh, you're going to go pick the berries?
Yeah, and then I can cook too. So,
labor.
That's that. Yeah, and manual labor, whatever I need to do. So,
will you be on time? Are you going to no call, no show?
No.
When it's time for gathering? It's berry gathering day, and Dallas doesn't show. Dallas loves the fact that we still bring up the one time he didn't make it. All right, producer Connor, what do you bring to the Hometown Heartbeat compound?
Live bait. I don't know.
Other than overwhelming intelligence and the ability to think his way out of just about anything, Connor's in. He's in. Dallas he's got a shot right now. I'd say he's 50-50. Derek, I'm going to give him a solid, if we're going to give survival scores, I'm going to give him a solid 8 out of 10. Of course, myself, I'll take a, 8.5 or so.
What was my score?
2.
A 2?
A 2.
Okay.
Grunt labor is what you know.
Present.
In certain you know, in the construction business, like what we're in, like you've got your skilled trades, and then you've got your unskilled trades, or not trades, your unskilled labor. So trades would be like your carpenters and your plumbers and your floor laying guys that are specific to that. And then you've got like porters, right? And the porters just walk around job sites and throw trash in the dumpster. You're the porter.
I can do a little bit of construction stuff too.
Broom pushing.
I would like to see you swing
No,
a
for real.
hammer.
Like, I'm serious.
Okay,
Like,
but
I've
we're
done
gonna
it
have
before. I worked with my uncle. He's in Maine. He's like a contractor, and I went up there and worked with him for a while. Hello.
Oh, I'm just listening. I was waiting for a skill.
Yeah, for like I worked up there. We did flooring, roofing.
Maybe.
We rebuilt. We redid a whole kitchen.
Oh wow. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
cabinets.
Did you hang
countertops,
cabinets?
Everything.
But did you assist or did you build
No, like
the
I was
cabinets?
there.
He was
like
the
I did. Like
lead.
I did.
You
like,
led the
Lead
like,
man.
You were the expert
especially
on site.
the floors. The floors. I
So
I
you
basically
saying you're a
did.
flooring pro?
You're a SME. You're a subject matter expert.
Oh, look out! Hey, leave it to the Army guy to bring an acronym into the situation.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know what that is.
So
but-
then you'd be an unskilled-
He said SME, right? That's SME,
Yeah, okay.
which means subject matter expert.
yeah, pretty much. At
See, in the
flooring.
Army, we've got all kinds of letters that mean other things. Now, SME is not an Army term. That's just pretty much common sense. But the us Army guys talk in a little bit different lingo.
I mean, us people, us regular non-Army people do the same thing.
Do you?
When I went out to my car, I said, "BRB,
Yep, he's big mad.
be right back."
Connor, what say you? How does that make you feel?
The fact that he said BRB out loud,
Yes.
that's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
Oh
Lol.
my gosh, Connor, I'm so confused. Oh man.
I thought he was gonna come after me. The way
I
he
did
said-
too. Like that's what I was waiting on. I was like, well, he's got to do something here.
He said the fact that he said BRB out loud, and I was just waiting.
Oh, I thought he was gonna just level the boom there. For using it, I don't even use that in text messaging. Okay, so let me get back to my question then, since we are on our weekend Chicago violence update. Derek, explain to me this. I mean, Chicago's a gun-free zone.
Mm-hmm.
So how is there gun violence in a gun-free zone? I'm confused.
It seems that non-law-abiding citizens don't obey the law.
I don't believe it.
I mean, it's kind of crazy.
You mean to tell me if we outlaw drugs, people won't stop using drugs?
I think there's been a war on drugs for the better part of my lifetime, and I don't think it's winning.
Dallas acts like he plays basketball. He's 1 foot away from a trash can, tried to lay up, missed it. That's why he produces my radio show at 5 a.m. and he's not playing basketball somewhere in college. No, you're exactly right. And the reality is the war on drugs. By the way, are you a podcast guy?
I listen to it maybe one or two
Oh,
when I
man.
have on long drives. I'm not a daily podcaster.
Oh, I'm
no.
a podcast. I love podcasts, and there's a really good one out there. It's called Deep Cover. It just came out, and it profiles the war on drugs, and it is really good. There's also another one that we will talk about at some point this morning. It's called Unfinished Deep South. It's the story of Isidore Banks in Crittenden County, I guess is what it's called, out in Arkansas. And man, we got to talk through that because there are some reparations needed. If you have anything to add this morning, or if you want to tell Derek he's doing a wonderful job, or just introduce yourself, or give him a really hard time, I'm okay with all three of the above. Call us this morning at 1-866-494-WVNN. That's 1-866-494-WVNN. We've got a message here from Dustin Williams. He wants us to add a 2A segment to what we're doing with our Chicago update. So when we come back, we could talk 2A. I'm all about it. I'm all about talking some Second Amendment. You're listening to The Hometown Heartbeat. This is thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com. Email us, show@thehometownheartbeat.com. Call us, 1-866-494-WVNN. You're listening to your big, beautiful, bearded host. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-785-9132. That's 800-785-9132. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-785-9132.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker here, the big, beautiful, bearded host of WVNN's smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat. Listen, if you're building or buying or remodeling a house, the first thing you need to think about is your cabinets. You'll spend the most money there and oftentimes get the least return on your investment. Our friends at Cabinet Express Online are the only game in town that we trust here at Hometown Heartbeat. Give them a call today at 256-970-5857. Let them come out to your house, do a free consultation, 3D rendering of the home. It's absolutely beautiful. It's awesome. Their prices won't be beat, and I promise you'll be satisfied just like I was with my cabinets from Cabinet Express Online. Again, call our friends at Cabinet Express Online at 256-970-5857 or visit them on the web at cabinetsexpressonline.com.
Hey everybody, this is Lindsay Gandy from Cotton Row Interiors. The real estate market in North Alabama is booming and showing no signs of slowing down. If you're thinking about selling your house, now is absolutely the time to do it. But before you do that, you need to call Cotton Row Interiors at 256-BUY-SELL. Cotton Row Interiors is the premier interior design and home staging service in the Southeast. Leah Carter, our lead designer, has years of experience and a wealth of knowledge when it comes to design and staging your home. Staging your home is the key to selling your house quickly and for a premium price. Statistics show that houses that have been staged can sell up to 30 times faster than those that are unstaged, and the sale price can balloon by as much as 20%. It's honestly a no-brainer. Call Leah today at 256-BUY-SELL to schedule your free in-home design consultation today. Get that HGTV home that you've always dreamed of, regardless of your budget. Again, call Cotton Row Interiors today at 256-BUY-SELL. So 256-BUYSELL.
Hey everybody, this is producer Connor from the smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat, as well as the Dale Jackson Show live stream. And if you haven't yet, you need to reach out to our friends at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a local business owner, chances are that you know how important content creation and digital marketing are in these unprecedented times. Our friends at Cotton Row Productions are the only people trusted by both the Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat when it comes to video, podcasting, and live streaming. They also have video packages and content creation services for every budget. Video doesn't have to be expensive, but with Cotton Row Productions, it will be effective. For a flat monthly fee, get high-quality digital media content that will catapult your business from out of touch to in demand. Don't neglect your digital footprint and call Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355 and tell them producer Connor sent you. Again, that's Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Get started on your path to social media dominance with our friends at Cotton Row Productions today.
Listen, if there's one thing I know, people don't always live what they profess with their mouth, but they absolutely live what they truly believe in their heart.
Tune into Hometown Heartbeat, the smartest show on radio, every day from 5 to 7.
Look, this push to erase history, to erase the past, to erase white Jesus, it's all a little bit crazy.
With the biggest, boldest, most bearded host, Zach Walker.
The bottom line is this. If you follow the money from BLM, from Black Lives Matter, you find it ending up in the pockets of white Democrats. And really, there's nothing consistent about that, but rather it's an attempt to patronize the entire community. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a church, creative, or pastor, and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Row Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know, and they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, boisterous, bearded host from Hometown Heartbeat, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. Let me tell you something. We are so excited to be joining you guys on the radio, on the live stream, on the podcast, on the website, on the interweb, on the Facebox, on the Tweetergram. We are fired up. And you should be too, because it's one of the only places you can get real truth in the media. So make sure that you go to thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com, and at the top, click Listen Live, Watch Live, or Podcast. Every day the archive comes out, no commercials. You can get smarter and not have to listen to ads. Make sure you join us every day, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. That's thehometownheartbeat.com. Stay classy, San Diego.
The talk station in Alabama, WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host, Zach Walker, checking in with producer Connor and DJ Dallas. With us this morning, we have listener Derek Cox, who responded to our call for a new host, a tryout host, a guest host, a you name it host, and here he is, folks. I just want to say there's some bravery in that, because I'm not the easiest person in the world. To come in here and sit next to. But I'm kidding. I'm a big teddy bear. Right, Derek?
Oh, yeah, you're soft.
Soft as a freaking Charmin. Okay, so we have a listener suggested segment on, we've been taking your ideas on segments and what you would have us to talk about, and he wants us to do a 2A segment. And so off we go onto a 2A segment. You know why? Because here at Hometown Heartbeat, the smartest show on radio, we listen to our listeners. It's a show about of the people, by the people, and for the people. There you go. See if I could say that 3 times in a row. So essentially, the hypocrisy of a place like Chicago and the hypocrisy of a place where gun bans exist and gun limitations exist are that, historically speaking, there's no difference in the amount of violence that is carried out in a place where there's a gun ban as opposed to one in fact, I would say there probably is actually a difference in violence.
Mm-hmm.
There's an uptick in violence because when only violent criminals can get their hands on weapons and law-abiding citizens have no ability to defend themselves, it makes the, it's kind of like bringing a knife to a gunfight, as it were.
One of my favorite stats, and I can't exactly remember the number here, but defended lives. When you're looking at, I'm messing up here. The ability to carry a firearm on you to save your life.
Carry.
Yeah. Well, like they say, it's like 3 million lives are saved annually just by the fact that person had a handgun to defend their life.
Well, I saw a man in a protest about to get stabbed right in the gizzard there, and pulled out an old concealed carry pistol and dispatched his attacker, and I guarantee you it saved his life because there were 5. The funny part was, and it's not funny. There's nothing funny about somebody losing their lives. Was immediately the protesters, somebody call the cops. Oh, you mean the cops you just voted to defund? Those cops? How about no? We'll call your social worker instead. Mm-hmm. They'll be here in 37 minutes. But no, I mean, Dustin Williams, wanting to talk about this. I mean, he said especially like July 4th holiday, which we talked about. That's where the Chicago segment got its legs, was July 4th. They saw the worst weekend on record in the middle of a pandemic and rioting and looting. And so the reality is this. The Second Amendment exists for you as an American citizen not to hunt. It's not so I can have my sporting rifle, my hunting rifle, my bolt action 3 in the box, 1 in the chamber, kind of a like I hunt with a 308. And I've got a box magazine with 3 rounds, and then there's a 4th round in the chamber. And so that would be a hunting rifle. But I also at times have hunted with my AR. I've hunted with an AR-10, which is a chambered in 7.62 or 308, and has the capacity to put down a large North American whitetail. So the Second Amendment doesn't exist so that you can kill your food. It doesn't exist so that you can have a hobby of shooting guns. It exists to protect yourself from tyranny. At the core of the Second Amendment is the American's right to protect itself from tyranny. Because, again, Thomas Jefferson, the tree of liberty from time to time has to be watered by the blood of tyrants and patriots, right? And how do you intend on watering that tree without a firearm? The Second Amendment, it does not exist to limit the American people to what uses they have for firearms. It exists so that we are free to own and bear arms against someone who would threaten our life, limb, and property, someone who would tell us or attempt to take away our freedom. There's a lot of roar right now in the world that there's a civil war coming, and things look like. I mean, I don't believe that I think November will have a lot to do with that. I think if you, depending on what goes down in November, we very well may see some violence on our own soil, and I think that's something as Americans we have to prepare for. I certainly hope it doesn't happen.
I don't think you're going to have much. Okay, when I say I don't think you'll have a whole lot, I think you're going to have the Antifa crowd and the Boog crowd that want to go and they just want to fight each other in the streets. I don't necessarily see you're going to have the normal silent majority American on the street in armor doing their thing. I think a lot of people try to play ignorant and ignore the news and just hope it goes away. And they're sitting,
That's what I do with my taxes.
Right.
They don't go away. Neither will this.
No, I don't think this goes away at all.
It doesn't. It can't. There's no way.
There's no ending. Like we talk about this at work, is the how does this go away? This the current protesting environment. I don't think it does because it's being fed by the media, and there's not enough people speaking out against it. Instead, they're all just saying it's peaceful protesting. The problem is, look at Portland. Portland is not a peaceful protest anymore. Portland is full-on rioting every night, where they had to bring in the feds to subdue some of that stuff.
Which was fantastic, by the way. I saw some memes circulating this weekend that said, a free country like the United States does not have a secret police force that runs around and apprehends people and takes them to unknown locations. And I'm like, every country on the face of the planet has a police force that is a dark, shadowy organization that exists. Now, does that make it right or wrong? I'm not arguing on that
right
one way or the other. But certainly it exists. And so, Dustin, thank you for the suggestion. We're happy to dive into whatever it is. And if you have something you want us to talk about, give us a call, 1-866-494-WVNN. We could talk about the Second Amendment. We could talk about Derek. We could talk about Dallas and his missed layups. We could talk about whatever you want. Go to thehometownheartbeat.com. At the top, watch live, listen live. Definitely download the podcast. If you don't, you're not a good person. You're listening to your bearded host. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker here, the big, beautiful, bearded host of WVNN's smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat. Listen, if you're building or buying or remodeling a house, the first thing you need to think about is your cabinets. You'll spend the most money there and oftentimes get the least return on your investment. Our friends at Cabinet Express Online are the only game in town that we trust here at Hometown Heartbeat. Give them a call today at 256-970-5857. Let them come out to your house, do a free consultation, 3D rendering of the home. It's absolutely beautiful. It's awesome. Their prices won't be beat, and I promise you'll be satisfied just like I was with my cabinets from Cabinet Express Online. Again, call our friends at Cabinet Express Online at 256-970-5857 or visit them on the web at cabinetsexpressonline.com.
Hey everybody, this is Lindsay Gandy from Cotton Row Interiors. The real estate market in North Alabama is booming and showing no signs of slowing down. If you're thinking about selling your house, now is absolutely the time to do it. But before you do that, you need to call Cotton Row Interiors at 256-BUY-SELL. Cotton Row Interiors is a premier interior design and home staging service in the Southeast. Leah Carter, our lead designer, has years of experience and a wealth of knowledge when it comes to design and staging your home. Staging your home is the key to selling your house quickly and for a premium price. Statistics show that houses that have been staged can sell up to 30 times faster than those that are unstaged, and the sale price can balloon by as much as 20%. It's honestly a no-brainer. Call Leah today at 256-BUY-SELL to schedule your free in-home design consultation today. Get that HDTV home that you've always dreamed of, regardless of your budget. Again, call Cotton Row Interiors today at 256-BUY-SELL. So 256-BUYSELL.
Hey everybody, this is producer Connor from the smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat, as well as the Dale Jackson Show live stream. And if you haven't yet, you need to reach out to our friends at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a local business owner, chances are that you know how important content creation and digital marketing are in these unprecedented times. Our friends at Cotton Row Productions are the only people trusted by both the Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat when it comes to video, podcasting, and live streaming. They also have video packages and content creation services for every budget. Video doesn't have to be expensive, but with Cotton Row Productions, it will be effective. For a flat monthly fee, get high-quality digital media content that will catapult your business from out of touch to in demand. Don't neglect your digital footprint and call Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355 and tell them producer Connor sent you. Again, that's Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Get started on your path to social media dominance with our friends at Cotton Row Productions today.
Listen, if there's one thing I know, people don't always live what they profess with their mouth, but they absolutely live what they truly believe in their heart.
Tune into Hometown Heartbeat, the smartest show on radio, every day from 5 to 7.
Look, this push to erase history, to erase the past, to erase white Jesus, it's all a little bit crazy.
With the biggest, boldest, most bearded host, Zach Walker.
The bottom line is this. If you follow the money from BLM, from Black Lives Matter, you find it ending up in the pockets of white Democrats. And really, there's nothing consistent about that, but rather it's an attempt to patronize the entire community. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a church, creative, or pastor, and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Row Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know, and they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, boisterous, bearded host from Hometown Heartbeat, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. Let me tell you something. We are so excited to be joining you guys on the radio, on the live stream, on the podcast, on the website, on the interweb, on the Facebox, on the Tweetergram. We are fired up. And you should be too, because it's one of the only places you can get real truth in the media. So make sure that you go to thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com, and at the top, click listen live, watch live, or podcast. Every day the archive comes out, no commercials. You can get smarter and not have to listen to ads. Make sure you join us every day, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN. That's thehometownheartbeat.com. Stay classy, San Diego.
This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Welcome to Hometown Heartbeat. I'm your big, beautiful, bearded host, Zach Walker, checking in with producer Connor, DJ Dallas, and our guest host for the day. What's going on, buddy?
Not a whole lot. How you
My
doing?
friend Derek Cox from Ardmore. So we just talked about Chicago. We did our Chicago violence update. We did a Second Amendment segment. And what better way to segue into a home invasion than Second Amendment segment? So as I mentioned a little bit earlier in the show, last night, first of all, I played baseball with my adult has-been baseball league, Huntsville Cubs. You know, we're the real deal. It's a bunch of old, washed-up fat guys that still think they can do it. And we actually faced Matt Kimbrell yesterday. Matt Kimbrell, Craig Kimbrell's younger brother, who pitched in the minor leagues, and he can still sling it pretty good. So, needless to say, we struggled a bit. And you know, Matt threw a great game, and we got that tail whooped. But that's neither here nor there. I got home. I'm exhausted. get ready to go to bed. It's about 9:30, which is a little later than I'd normally like to do on a Sunday night because Monday morning at 3:30 comes real early. And laying in bed, and before you know it, woo, 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 and I'm like freaking out. Like every ex-military guy has a plan. We know exactly what we want to do. And there are nights that I'm like, I wish someone would, wrong house. But when it actually happens, you're like, holy crap, what do you? So I like I said, there were 3 options for firearms to clear the house. I ended up with probably the poorest choice of all because it was the first one I got my hands on. I didn't exactly. Look, it was a late night for me at that point. And let me tell you something, like. That'll trip you out, man.
Yeah, having to clear your own house.
Having to clear your own house, like, it'll trip you out because it's like, so here's the thing. I came out of the bedroom and, like, I've got one of the alarm keypads in my bedroom right next to my bed. And so, when we've got the sensors and the cameras and the thises and the that's, and so, like, I'm clearing the house. And of course, like, my wife, she's trained, so she grabs her firearm and she moves. My son's bedroom is right next to mine. Right. And so she, like, moves into that bedroom, shuts that door, and then I go commence to clearing the house. And, I'm walking around in my, the way God made me, my little whitey tighties. I'm just kidding. But I'm walking around the house, belly hanging out, ready to go, like looking like a lean, mean fighting machine, ready to rock and roll. And all the doors are locked. All the windows are still locked. For the life of me, I can't figure out. I don't know if something fell.
One of your sensors fail, like battery die on you?
Well, that's what I thought. Batteries are all good. Okay. So it was a motion sensor in an obscure place in my house, the back door, which is obviously. But I got a 150-pound Rottweiler out back. You're not going to make it to my back door. If you think my backyard is your best choice to try to get in my house, I wish you would.
Good luck.
Oh my gosh, I got a 150-pound Rottweiler named Tank that will destroy people.
Nah, they're in your closet, man.
So that's the other thing. So, like, literally, my wife and I walked the whole house and cleared every closet, every bathroom, we don't live in a big house. I mean, it's a small house. And so a little 3-bedroom house, and it was just crazy to like, cause I don't know if anybody saw the news, but yesterday there was a home invasion in Huntsville and a young man died. Like,
right.
I mean,
PJ?
Yeah, he was shot, and then there was another person in the home that was severely injured in assault, being assaulted in the house. So, that's on your mind, of course. You know what I'm saying? And then as ex-military, like, immediately you're assessing. I mean, everything's a threat now.
Right.
Like, I almost engaged my hunting gear because it was a big camo jacket that just looked out of place, and you're like, and you're like, never mind, it's just a jacket. It's an inanimate object. It can't hurt me. But, dude, that'll trip you out.
Yeah. I can only imagine. I don't have a home security system.
Oh,
and I have spotlights though with motion detectors, and when they blink up, I immediately look out the window and I'm trying to. We had an issue a couple months ago in Ardmore where a couple people got murdered, and then it happened again, and that was literally approximately 3/4 of a mile from my house. I sat there watching TV for about 2 hours, just looking at the Twitter, waiting for the Athens Police Department to give me updates. With my handgun literally right next to me.
Well, it's just weird. It was just a really odd feeling to think that maybe, it's like the logic says, literally I went to every door in my house. It was still locked. I went to every, like, logically. And so we still have old school chain locks inside. So, like.
Those do a lot of work.
They do. They really do. Except for my cleaning lady knows how to just.
Right.
That's kind of terrifying. But, maybe it was her. Maybe she broke into my house. No, I'm just kidding. It was really trippy, though, to be. because I don't know if anybody else has been woken up from a sleep. And I had just fallen asleep, too. Like, I was freshly asleep, and then you are awoken to chaos.
Oh, you're dazed, you're confused.
Oh, and it takes it takes you 10 or 15 seconds to get your like, I'm just kind of like running circles in my bedroom, like trying to figure out, I'm like, what's that? My wife's like, the alarm. And I'm like, oh, you need to compose yourself and go get the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, it'll trip you out a little bit, man. It really will. Dallas, what's your plan, on a home invasion?
I guess I don't really have one.
Yeah, probably ought to develop one.
Yep.
It's not like
I have a firearm. Throw a basketball at them?
It's not like I have a firearm.
You need to remedy that situation. Do we need to go? Well, I'll take you.
I want one.
Let's make it happen, Captain.
Can you train me?
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Oh.
Oh, there's great.
Oh.
You got great places all around. I don't want to drop
First of all,
any
Noel
names out.
Bishop.
Yeah,
You can go see Noel Bishop. That's my buddy, but you don't need to because I can show you, and I won't make you pay. I'd love for you to support Noel's business. Noel's a great man and a good friend of mine. In fact, he'll be here on Friday. But
I haven't gone and shot paper in a while either. We could do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I took my wife. I tell this story a lot. I took my wife, and I did not expect for her when this whole coronavirus thing started. She was carrying a little 380 and I wanted her with a 9, and so we went and picked out a weapon but we went to the range and rented a few so that she could really try them. What actually ended up happening was I fell in love with a new one, and she got got my
the old one.
Well, it's not old. I mean, it's a SIG, P365. It's the new double stack, concealed 9, but she was, I mean, it was unbelievable. I'm talking about accuracy. Like, she grabbed my AR. She grabbed my AR, untrained on an AR, never shot one, and unleashes 30 and doesn't miss center mass but one time.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is. My wife's the same way. All right, never shot a gun in her life. Took her to the range. She grabs a shotgun. Becomes like, she's basically a professional skeet shooter. Blew my
it's
mind.
unreal.
Didn't miss a single clay target.
Well, and look, I mean, and an AR-15 that as a platform it's a little bit overwhelming as a platform. There's a lot of buttons and switches and
scary.
things,
I mean,
and it looks scary. And
and
this one has I've got a fixed 3x illuminated reticle, optic on it, so it's a little bit. If you've never used, if you've never used one, it's not like it's not just iron sights, point and shoot. Like, there's a little bit more to it. And she was like, let me give me that one. Give me that over there. And I'm like, oh, okay, babe. Yeah, good luck. Of course, she'd already picked my nose with a 9 the whole day. Just wore out paper, because I'm not a great pistol shooter. It's never been something I'm good at, nor do I really enjoy it. I'll take a long gun and do damage.
Really?
No, I just don't enjoy it. When I qualified, I was a medic, so we had to carry the M9.
The 9s, yeah.
And so as a platform, I mean, you're literally having to slap the back of the slide to get it to finish, because the springs are so worn out. And so I've never really been much of a pistol shooter, and like, I don't enjoy it. Now I can, and I'm capable, and I'm more than, I'll get the job done, but it's not something. And she just was wearing it out. She grabbed that AR and just doop, 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 doop.
My issue I have with handguns is I run out of ammo a lot faster, because with a handgun you just kind of want to start popping off rounds, and I'll burn through 10 pretty quickly, whereas with my AR I shoot, sight it out, play around, then try different things, and I take my time. So
I'm exactly the opposite. I'll run through 30 on an AR like
really?
Like it's going out of style. I've always enjoyed the long gun platform a little bit more. But no, that was our night last night. It was so I ended up being up a little later and then obviously you're shaking a little bit, so your
adrenaline's pumping.
Yeah, it took me at least like 38 seconds to go back to sleep. It was a long, prolonged event there. In celebrity news, since we said we were going to add that to the docket, I'm sure this is a big surprise. Danica Patrick, Aaron Rodgers, they split. Huge shocker. I mean, Aaron Rodgers broke up with his own freaking family. You think he was going to make it with Danica Patrick? This guy's a circus clown. Like, he literally, I don't know. I don't take kindly to people that literally blaspheme the name of the Lord.
Isn't A-Rod the guy that said I would never leave my team, and then like a year later?
That's
Am I mixing up Aaron Rodgers and A-Rod?
Yeah,
I am, ain't I?
Yeah, you sure are.
I'm a pro.
Aaron Rodgers is an NFL quarterback.
For the Packers. Yeah.
He got his feelings hurt when they drafted a first round quarterback this year. What's funny about that is when he was a draftee, Brett Favre was all excited about it. That's the difference in Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and why Aaron Rodgers will never be Brett Favre. Brett Favre had no concerns about the fact that he was still the gunslinger, and he was going to be the gunslinger till he stopped slinging the gun. Aaron Rodgers is a soft little man here. But what I don't understand, they spent $28 million on a house. How do you unwind that? Like, you're not married to begin with, so they're just shacking up. You go out and you spend if the free market and capitalism allows you the ability to go and spend $28 million on a house, I don't think it's wise personally, but I don't know. I've never had that as an option, so I wouldn't pretend to know. But how do you unwind a $28 million purchase when you're not married, you're just boyfriend and girlfriend, and you buy a house together, and now you break up? How do you unwind that?
I don't know. Like, I have friends that do the dating thing, and then they go buy a house together, and they break up they end up splitting the house, like living in it, and both of them doing their own side piece on each side.
Whoa.
I don't know how you do 20. That's a big house to.
Well, that's an awkward arrangement. Like, what you take the east wing, honey. I'll take the west.
Right. Who gets the master?
Yeah, well, what I'm imagining in a $28 million house, you've got a couple master bedrooms, or at least big en suites. But yeah, I don't know how you unwind that. I mean, with marriage, it's easy. The law is pretty straightforward in how things are split. But yeah, I just don't. Again, look, Aaron Rodgers couldn't even stick with his family. Like, dude broke up with his family. What do you think he was going to do? You think he was going to make it long term with another celebrity? Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Olivia Munn says, y'all crazy. That's his ex-girlfriend. I actually know more about celebrity news than I probably should. Don't tell anybody. It's a secret. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. I'm your big, beautiful, bearded host. Go to thehometownheartbeat.com. Click Watch Live, Listen Live, download the podcast. We will be right back.
Huntsville's #1 news, talk, and weather station. WVNN Athens. WVNN FM Trinity. A Cumulus station. It's 6 o'clock.
Reopening schools, Biden favored in new poll. I'm John Trout. School districts around America are grappling with whether to bring students back to classrooms in the fall and how to keep them and their teachers safe from the coronavirus if they do. Randy Weingarten is the president of the American Federation of Teachers.
We have parents and teachers who are scared because they think that Trump won't make the schools safe. And frankly, in Florida, he is allowing the schools to reopen unsafely.
Top Republicans in Congress are expected to meet today with President Trump on the next COVID-19 aid package. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is prepared to roll out a $1 trillion package in a matter of days. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has already passed a sweeping $3 trillion measure from Democrats. President Trump is discounting a new poll that favors Democratic presumptive nominee Joe Biden.
With Election Day 3.5 months away, President Trump disputed polls showing him trailing Joe Biden.
I'm not losing because those are fake polls. They were fake in 2016, and now they're even more fake.
In a wide-ranging, at times testy interview on Fox News Sunday, the president was repeatedly critical of Biden.
He's not competent to be president.
He claimed Biden can't put two sentences together.
He's shot. He's mentally shot.
Trump also suggested he might not accept the results if he loses the election.
I have to see. No, I'm not going to just say yes. I'm not going to say no, and I didn't last time either.
Jerry Bodlander, Washington.
The Georgia Democratic Party is expected to select a nominee today to fill the seat of Representative John Lewis on the November ballot. The 80-year-old civil rights leader died Friday after serving the Atlanta area for more than 30 years in Congress. The seat will remain empty until Georgia Governor Brian Kemp schedules a special election. Dow futures are lower, NASDAQ futures are higher. I'm John Trout.
This is good news, maybe exactly when you need it to. Right now, MediShare is waiving their new member fees. This could save you money on top of all that you'll save each month by becoming a member of MediShare. So many people are looking for a healthcare solution right now, seeing the cost of COBRA plans, for instance. And MediShare is the affordable alternative to health insurance. The typical family saves $500 a month, but you might save even more. MediShare is a Christian community that shares each other's healthcare costs, and because of the current economic situation, they're making it easier than ever. Apply by July 31st, and you'll save an additional $170 on your first month. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Just tell them the promo code SHARE to receive your additional savings. Maybe now is the time to make the switch, like more than 400,000 people already have, and start saving. Here it is. Call 844-91-BIBLE. That's 844-91-BIBLE. 844-91-BIBLE.
Some Alabama legislators are calling for a $150 million plan to reopen schools.
The Dale Jackson Show.
But school is supposed to reopen in a little over a month. I don't really see how that's possible.
Weekdays from 7 to 11 a.m.
So what is more likely is we are going to hear an increasing drumbeat from the media and their Democrats in Alabama that we just can't go back to school at this particular time. It just can't be done. We can't have the kids go back. After all, the coronavirus is still out there, and that will win out. The school year will be either canceled or 100% virtual. That is where we are heading right now, and I don't really see any way to stop it. I don't mean to be doom and gloom, but this just seems like where we're going as Americans right now.
Only on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM WVNN, and available 24/7 at WVNN.com. Depend on it. Where Alabama talks. WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. A little Earth, Wind, and Fire, the elements bringing us back. Do you remember 21st night, September? That's my jam right there, man. You know what? I might quit this job and
I wish you
go
would
to Nashville. I know it. I need to go be a music star. Mama said I could sing purdy. Okay.
Mamas don't lie.
No, except for she also, well, never mind.
I can be your hype man.
I'm so pumped right now. Like, wow.
Dallas, the one thing that I think I heard Connor laughing from the other room. I don't, as long as it's after like 6 a.m., you could be my hype man.
Yeah, I mean,
what would Connor be? If I was a rap star and this was my rap group and you were the hype man, what would that make Connor?
That's tough.
Muscle?
Backup dancer?
Oh, Connor could be the bodyguard.
Connor, how would you feel about being my bodyguard?
Unprepared.
Doesn't a hype man need a chain and or a large glass?
I have a chain.
Oh, okay.
Of course you do. You know what that does. Does that surprise you, Connor, at all, that Dallas has a chain?
Not really.
Do you have a chain?
I do.
No, not you. Connor.
Oh, Connor.
No, I do not have a chain.
We need to fix that.
Okay.
Connor needs a big old chain.
Yeah.
I think Connor would be, and maybe a grill.
I'd have to find it, but I had a.
Of course you had a grill.
No, not a grill.
Oh.
I had a like one of those big Cuban chains with the cubic. I didn't have diamonds.
You can't say that.
Oh, I can't say that. That's racist.
No, that's racist.
And then it had the Kool-Aid Man pendant on it. It was all like diamond bezeled out.
Well, is Kool-Aid Man the jar or the Kool-Aid?
It's like the Kool-Aid Man, like, you know.
Right, I know, but is the Kool-Aid Man the Kool-Aid or is he the jar?
Oh.
The pitcher.
He'd have to be the pitcher. Because if he spills out, you still got the Kool-Aid face. He's still there.
But he's not the Kool-Aid Man. He no longer contains Kool-Aid.
Now he's just the pitcher.
Oh.
Oh my god.
That's interesting.
I love how easily I like.
That's interesting.
He's like the kid that you buy him all the toys in the world and he goes over and plays with the box.
Right.
That's Dallas. That's
so excited.
Oh, just excitable. Just a little bundle of joy. It may change my idiot of the day, actually. So we're going to do a segment now that has been recommended a couple times. We don't know what to call it just yet, but it's going to be something along the lines of you're an idiot or the idiot of the day. Each person here on the show will pick their idiot of the day. I don't know that we'll do it every single day, but we will pick idiots on a regular basis, and we will tell you why we think they're an idiot. And today we're going to start with Producer Connor. Producer Connor, what you got?
I've got a pretty lighthearted one, but there was a woman on Twitter who gained a lot of attention after she tweeted the following. So are you aware of Adult Swim on Cartoon Network?
I am, yes.
That after hours block?
Yes.
So you know how they do that big disclaimer at about 8 o'clock Eastern, like, all right, we're switching off Adult Swim, kids leave, it's over, adult time now.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, okay. They got this big disclaimer. They could not make it any more clear. This woman tweets, Cartoon Network after hours. They throw it in your face. They hope you aren't the kind of parent who monitors what your kids watch and do. They're busy conditioning them. What do you see here? I see witches abusing babies. This is not okay. This is not funny.
What's the Twitter handle on this woman?
Sooner Girl 74.
Oh, well, that says everything you need to know. She's a Sooner fan. I mean, that in and of itself would qualify you in my book.
So everybody, they're sending, they're making fun of her, they're berating her, they're it's Adult Swim. That's kind of the whole point. She sees all this and she decides to respond and say, never realized that the post from Adult Swim Cartoon Network was going to take off. After reading some comments, it's clear I've hit a nerve. When darkness is exposed, the demons start panicking, try to minimize you and your message. They can't stop what's coming.
Double down, Karen.
Hey, Sooner girl. Hey, Sooner whatever. You're an idiot. Dallas, what you got?
I got Mr. Kanye West. He had his first, I guess, rally.
And cried.
He cried.
Like a baby.
He cried a
Ugly
good amount.
cried.
He also said some dumb things.
Like?
Let me just play this one for you over here. Okay. You ready? You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Oh, hang on just a second.
I was ready.
We were ready.
Okay, well, let me pull up the clip. Anyway, basically what he said was...
Does that mean mine's also not going to play?
Probably not. I'll pull it up, though.
Okay.
But basically he said Harriet Tubman didn't free the slaves. She... let me get the quote here. But...
Harriet Tubman never
Yep, there it is. Yep. There it is. Okay, Harriet Tubman never actually freed the slaves. She just had the slaves go work for other white people.
Wait. What?
Yeah.
Connor, history lesson. Harriet Tubman, what was her place in history?
She definitely freed slaves. That was kind of her whole,
Pretty sure she literally ran up and down the East Coast, like physically
she
freeing
literally like
slaves.
A conductor on the Underground Railroad.
She was the conductor.
Right?
She was the first. She was the original. She was the founder of Kanye West. You're an idiot.
On top of that.
Oh, more. I jumped the gun there. Sorry.
When talking about abortion, and you might have seen this clip because this is one of the times where he started crying. He started talking about how he almost killed his daughter.
Yeah, I heard about that. He talked about how he and Kim actually talked about aborting north by northeast. Whatever. What's her name? Northwest by south? Northeast? Northwest, whatever. Kanye is something. He sure is. Derek, this was last minute thrown on Derek, so I'd feel almost bad making you do this, but.
It's okay. It's not hard to find a good idiot out there.
No, there's lots of them.
So my idiot of the day is probably more like a company, because you should never go to appease the mob, especially when the mob is 1,700 individuals who signed an online petition. But Trader Joe's has decided they're going to change their labeling from products such as Trader Jose's, because people think that's racist, the name Jose being used by a company.
So they had a beer, right? Mm-hmm. It was like a Corona spoof, and they instead of calling it Trader Joe's, they called it Trader Jose's. Well, for those of you that don't know, I spend a bunch of time in Central America, and a lot of time, like Josh is Hashua, and
right?
Joe Jose.
Yeah.
Like it's a translation.
Right.
That's like saying the Spanish language is inherently racist.
Trader Joe's just needs to check their privilege, I guess.
Trader Joe's, you're an idiot.
Well, the good news is now that they've got that sorted out, all the protests are going to stop.
No, we've cured racism in America. You're welcome.
Gosh, Connor, I love you, man.
I was looking at this Kanye thing. That's not even y'all didn't even get the entirety.
I think Dallas got a little thrown off. Like he did a lot of prep work this morning.
He was excited
because he got clips recorded, dude. We actually had some good stuff ready to go this morning. That is we're having some technical difficulties, which is not a shocker here in the studio. But go ahead and fill us in on some of the other ones there, Connor, while you're looking at them.
Well, he apparently said he was talking about how people who have children might not be financially able to support them, and he proposed a program for the federal government giving financial supplements to new parents, and he says, quote, everybody that has a baby gets $1 million.
$1 million.
And that is that's the basis of the old birthday party there, because when you win, it's gonna be everybody's birthday.
That won't break the country at all.
No, Lord, no. I mean, basic. That's what. Hey, look, if we're gonna do a basic income structure, basic house, whatever it is, worldwide income, I'd like for it to start at $1 million.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then that money's got to come from somewhere. So I guess they just take
we'll
back
print
2/3 of it.
We'll just print
it. That's all it is.
Trader Joe's, Kanye West, Sooner Girl, you're an idiot. So mine is a little bit old. So I've just gotten into these guys on YouTube, the Conservative Twins, and I don't know where I've been my entire life. I've been under a rock or something. But these guys don't get me wrong. I think the word you used was they can be a little aggressive.
They can be a little harsh.
That they can. So if you don't want to be offended, certainly don't go check them out. But in fact, the discount code for their merchandise is Chinese virus. Anyways, there's a segment on here that, and I've been reading about this since last week, but Terry Crews and some of his tweets that came out last week saying about Black Lives Matter and how we've got to be careful that it doesn't turn into Black Lives More important than, because that is literally black supremacy and oppression the other way. And Terry Crews is a black man who literally came out of the streets of Flint, Michigan, made his way to the NFL, and is now one of the widest known celebrities in the world. And so I just want to play a clip from Don Lemon, his interview with Terry Crews. Go ahead, hit that, Dallas.
When I describe this, when you look in the city of Chicago, there are 9 children who died by gun violence, by black on black gun violence from June 20th all the way to today. And you're talking about even with the Atlanta child murders, there were 28 kids who died in 2 years. You're talking about a month, and you have 9 black kids, and the Black Lives Matter movement has said nothing about this.
What does
kind
that
of
have
thing.
to do with equality, though, Terry? I don't understand what that has to do with equality, because listen, there's crime. There are people in those communities those people aren't just being nonchalant about gun violence. I lived in Chicago. There are many people who are working in those communities to try to get rid of the gun violence. The gun culture in this country is prevalent, but I don't understand what that has to do with a movement that's for equality for black people. It's not mutually exclusive.
Just stop it there. I mean, because it continues on, and the idiocy and the lunacy continues. But he basically just said, what does black people dying have to do with equality and Black Lives Matter? Why does it matter that kids are being shot at record and alarming rates? And why is it that we have to have a Chicago violence update every weekend, every Monday when we come back from a weekend? And he goes on, and it's the most, this guy's a journalist, allegedly. Now, we all know that that's a farce, and Don Lemon has never known journalism a day in his life. Right. But he continues, Terry Crews goes to explain himself, and he just speaks over him. Terry. He pulls a Zach on Rich, and I don't help me understand this, Don. Literally, the essence of equality. The essence of equality is no black life is more important than another black life,
right.
or no life is more important than another life. So what he then tells Terry to do, he said, Terry, if the kids in Chicago are important to you, then you need to start the Kids in Chicago Lives Matter movement.
Does that make sense?
Don Lemon, you are an idiot. Equality in and of itself is exactly what we just talked about. All lives equal to one another. Black Lives Matter started to address systemic racism that doesn't exist in this country, that is a farce in this country, that statistically cops don't brutalize black people more than white or anything. But anyways, just take all that out. He literally just said live on the air, a 9-year-old girl that was killed at the hands of a violent murderer in Chicago, a black girl killed by a black man, does not matter to Black Lives Matter, the movement, because the only lives they care about are those who are lost at the hands of white people. Don Lemon, sir, you're an idiot. Don't know how. I mean, journalists need to ask questions and listen to the answer. And when you don't want to hear the answer to the question, you shouldn't ask it. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat on WVNN. My name is Zach Walker. I'm your big, beautiful, bearded host. Check us out at thehometownheartbeat.com. Go to thehometownheartbeat.com. Watch live, listen live, download the podcast at the top. We will be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker here, the big, beautiful, bearded host of WVNN's smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat. Listen, if you're building or buying or remodeling a house, the first thing you need to think about is your cabinets. You'll spend the most money there and oftentimes get the least return on your investment. Our friends at Cabinet Express Online are the only game in town that we trust here at Hometown Heartbeat. Give them a call today at 256-970-5857. Let them come out to your house, do a free consultation, 3D rendering of the home. It's absolutely beautiful. It's awesome. Their prices won't be beat, and I promise you'll be satisfied just like I was with my cabinets from Cabinet Express Online. Again, call our friends at Cabinet Express Online at 256-970-5857 or visit them on the web at cabinetsexpressonline.com.
Hey everybody, this is Lindsay Gandy from Cotton Row Interiors. The real estate market in North Alabama is booming and showing no signs of slowing down. If you're thinking about selling your house, now is absolutely the time to do it. But before you do that, you need to call Cotton Row Interiors at 256-BUY-SELL. Cotton Row Interiors is a premier interior design and home staging service in the Southeast. Leah Carter, our lead designer, has years of experience and a wealth of knowledge when it comes to design and staging your home. Staging your home is the key to selling your house quickly and for a premium price. Statistics show that houses that have been staged can sell up to 30 times faster than those that are unstaged, and the sale price can balloon by as much as 20%. It's honestly a no-brainer. Call Leah today at 256-BUY-SELL to schedule your free in-home design consultation today. Get that HDTV home that you've always dreamed of, regardless of your budget. Again, call Cotton Row Interiors today at 256-BUY-SELL. So 256-BUYSELL.
Hey everybody, this is producer Connor from the smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat, as well as the Dale Jackson Show live stream. And if you haven't yet, you need to reach out to our friends at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a local business owner, chances are that you know how important content creation and digital marketing are in these unprecedented times. Our friends at Cotton Row Productions are the only people trusted by both the Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat when it comes to video, podcasting, and live streaming. They also have video packages and content creation services for every budget. Video doesn't have to be expensive, but with Cotton Row Productions, it will be effective. For a flat monthly fee, get high-quality digital media content that will catapult your business from out of touch to in demand. Don't neglect your digital footprint and call Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355 and tell them producer Connor sent you. Again, that's Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Get started on your path to social media dominance with our friends at Cotton Row Productions today.
Listen, if there's one thing I know, people don't always live what they profess with their mouth, but they absolutely live what they truly believe in their heart.
Tune into Hometown Heartbeat, the smartest show on radio every day from 5 to 7.
Look, this push to erase history, to erase the past, to erase white Jesus, it's all a little bit crazy.
With the biggest, boldest, most bearded host, Zach Walker.
The bottom line is this. If you follow the money from BLM, from Black Lives Matter, you find it ending up in the pockets of white Democrats. And really, there's nothing consistent about that, but rather it's an attempt to patronize the entire community. What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host here on Hometown Heartbeat. I wanted to talk about my friends over at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a church, creative, or pastor, and throughout this coronavirus, you have decided it's time to invest in your live stream capabilities, look at what we're doing here. The Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat are proudly produced by Cotton Row Productions, and they are the best in live media production and creative for your church. They work with any budget, any amount of equipment. Look, it's a frustrating process, I know, and they are the best in the business at getting you and your message live streamed. And when we're talking about the gospel, what more important message? So reach out to my friends at Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Again, that's 256-289-7355. And when you call, make sure you ask for producer Connor from Hometown Heartbeat and the Dale Jackson Show. They'll take great care of you.
The Dale Jackson Show, weekday mornings only on WVNN.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I'm your big, beautiful, bearded host, Zach Walker, checking in with producer Connor, DJ Dallas, and our friend and guest co-host, Derek Cox. Derek, what do you think so far, man?
Dude, it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying myself.
Let's find out if the people are enjoying you. If you've been listening this morning and you have some feedback for us, remember, this is why we do this. We're doing this for you, the people. Give us a call, 1-866-494-WVNN. Don't be too mean, or I will have to seek retribution. 1-866-494-WVNN or 678 on radio. Give us a call. Let us know how you think Derek's doing, or if you've got something to chime in on some of the subjects, or if you've got an idea for a new segment. All the above. We would like to hear from you. After all, this is a show by the people, for the people, of the people, with the people, you know, all that stuff. I get the order wrong every time, but it's all right. Just roll the dice, see what happens. Put it all in red, you know. Go for broke. All right, so here's a story that I, honest to God, am terrified. Like, when I read the headline, I thought I was reading something off The Onion,
right?
Maybe, or if maybe I thought it was like a Babylon Bee article. A couple in Kentucky are under monitored house arrest for COVID-19.
Monitored? You mean somebody's watching their house?
So let me set this up for you.
Thank you.
One of them tested positive for COVID-19. And they were given some paperwork to sign, okay? This paperwork said they couldn't leave the house, yada, yada, yada. It's called, let's see, Self-Isolation and Controlled Movement Agreed Order.
Controlled movement. That's a great phrase.
Whoa, right? So this is in Hardin County, Kentucky. So when she refused to sign the self-isolation and controlled movement agreed order, the sheriff's department showed up at their home. She says, quote, I open up the door, and there's like 8 different people, 5 different cars.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the heck's going on? This guy in a suit with a mask. It's the health department guy, and he has papers for us, for me and my daughter. The authorities demanded that Elizabeth and Isaiah wear ankle monitors, and law enforcement said that they would be notified if the couple traveled more than 200 feet away from their home.
Is that her daughter?
Yeah, so it's her husband, and her daughter.
Her daughter's got to wear an ankle bracelet.
She said, we didn't rob a store, we didn't steal anything, we didn't hit and run, we didn't break any laws, we did nothing wrong. The Lincotts were not against self-quarantine, but they didn't agree with the wording of the agreement, which, as an American, in a free
don't
society,
sign things you don't want to sign.
That's right. No, I mean, that's absolutely right. And they then turned that around and said she was refusing to self-quarantine, and so they made them put ankle monitors on.
Yeah, I'd get some scissors pretty quick.
What in the cotton picking world is going on? We've got the couple in St. Louis being with their weapons being confiscated, and we've got a couple in Kentucky being forced to wear ankle monitors so that they don't leave their house.
We're almost at that point where you got to carry papers with you everywhere you go, right?
Show me your papers. Like Red China, Stalin.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't. Connor, I want you to weigh in on this because you've always got some interesting perspective here. You listen to what I've said. I mean, I'm at a loss. I mean, very rarely am I at a loss for words, and right now I find myself struggling to even come up with anything to say. Like, what is this? The America that you were taught about in school?
No, this is. Yeah, I thought that I'd kind of seen it all with this COVID thing, and clearly there's still more left. I'm kind of shocked that if you would have told me 6 months ago that we would have seen people not allowed to leave their house for refusing to sign up, I don't know, I would have laughed in your face. And
so, here's the crazy part. Years and years ago, before I met Jesus, I was a bad person, and I had a drinking problem, and I was actually arrested 2 times for drinking and driving, and I was a threat to myself and others, and I was not forced to wear an ankle monitor. I was not forced to. There were consequences.
Right.
I went to jail. I had a probation officer. I had a breathalyzer in my vehicle.
That's fun.
Right? Oh, it's a blast. For those of you that have ever had one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You'd be driving down the road, beep, 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 and you're like, so literally, you'd be rolling down the road, and you've got this blower thing in your hand, and you got your left. It's really hard to hold your girlfriend's hand or kick back and drive your car and let the music bump when you got to blow on a breathalyzer, and then people drive by and they just look at you, just wave at them.
Throw a manual transmission in that.
Woo, no, it'd be a terrible thing. But no, I mean, honestly, I was not forced to be monitored outside of I had to check in with my probation officer once a month. We're strapping electronic monitors to COVID patients so they don't leave their house.
I'm almost curious how that holds up with HIPAA, because I don't even think the state government has rights to your medical history, your personal information. I think HIPAA actually protects you from that also. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm sure a pandemic.
See, again, you're applying special privileges, special rights.
But that's the issue, though. But that's the issue. That's the issue here.
Uh-huh.
The issue is the fact that the government thinks they can just apply these special privileges to you. Oh man.
Right, it blows my mind. This idea that they put ankle bracelets on a child.
If you don't think November matters more than any election in recorded human history, you're asleep at the wheel. You are asleep at the wheel. You've got Minneapolis asking for millions and millions of dollars in federal aid, which, by the way,
we're denied.
Thank God. President Trump. I mean, look, Derek, on this show, we all agree that President Trump has his warts, and he's an idiot and he's a buffoon in a lot of ways. But
call balls and strikes.
Yeah,
man.
just like I see him. But at the end of the day, like stuff like this, like
policy matters.
No, it does. And he said to these people, like, we offered support before you got to millions of dollars in damage. So the American taxpayer is not on the hook for the damage in Indianapolis. The
or
governor,
Seattle or anywhere.
That's right. Or Portland or St. Louis or any of that. But I can't wrap my mind around a United States of America where guns are being confiscated. These are real stories. Government agencies have stormed the home of law-abiding citizens and taken their weapons. And they've put ankle monitors on the legs of COVID patients to make sure they don't get more than 200 feet from their house.
Because they didn't sign a document.
This is absurdity. Liberty is gone. Listen, give us a call. We're going to do a phone segment next segment. 1-866-494-WVNN. 1-866-494-WVNN or 678 on radio. Get on the phone. Let's load up the phone bank. Let's talk to the people. I want to hear from you. What do you think about this stuff? Are they coming for your guns? Are they gonna put a monitor on you if you test positive? Looks like they can. This is Hometown Heartbeat. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
Congress is returning to session this week as federal emergency relief for Americans is expiring. Senator Mitch McConnell is prepared to roll out a stimulus package. House Speaker Nancy
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker here, the big, beautiful, bearded host of WVNN.
President Trump discounts a new poll that favors Democratic presumptive nominee Joe Biden.
With Election Day 3.5 months away, President Trump disputed polls showing him trailing Joe Biden.
I'm not losing because those are fake polls. They were fake in 2016, and now they're even more fake.
In a wide-ranging, at times testy interview on Fox News Sunday, the president was repeatedly critical of Biden.
He's not competent to be president.
He claimed Biden can't put two sentences together.
There's Jerry Bodlander from Washington. I'm John Trout.
Hey everybody, this is Lindsay Gandy from Cotton Row Interiors. The real estate market in North Alabama is booming and showing no signs of slowing down. If you're thinking about selling your house, now is absolutely the time to do it. But before you do that, you need to call Cotton Row Interiors at 256-BUY-SELL. Cotton Row Interiors is a premier interior design and home staging service in the Southeast. Leah Carter, our lead designer, has years of experience and a wealth of knowledge when it comes to design and staging your home. Staging your home is the key to selling your house quickly and for a premium price. Statistics show that houses that have been staged can sell up to 30 times faster than those that are unstaged, and the sale price can balloon by as much as 20%. It's honestly a no-brainer. Call Leah today at 256-BUY-SELL to schedule your free in-home design consultation today. Get that HGTV home that you've always dreamed of, regardless of your budget. Again, call Cotton Row Interiors today at 256-BUY-SELL. So 256-BUYSELL.
Hey everybody, this is producer Connor from the smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat, as well as the Dale Jackson Show live stream. And if you haven't yet, you need to reach out to our friends at Cotton Row Productions. If you're a local business owner, chances are that you know how important content creation and digital marketing are in these unprecedented times. Our friends at Cotton Row Productions are the only people trusted by both the Dale Jackson Show and Hometown Heartbeat when it comes to video, podcasting, and live streaming. They also have video packages and content creation services for every budget. Video doesn't have to be expensive, but with Cotton Row Productions, it will be effective. For a flat monthly fee, get high-quality digital media content that will catapult your business from out of touch to in demand. Don't neglect your digital footprint and call Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355 and tell them producer Connor sent you. Again, that's Cotton Row Productions at 256-289-7355. Get started on your path to social media dominance with our friends at Cotton Row Productions today.
Listen, if there's one thing I know, people don't always live what they profess with their mouth, but they absolutely live what they truly believe in their heart.
Tune into Hometown Heartbeat, the smartest show on radio every day from 5 to 7.
Look, this push to erase history, to erase the past, to erase white Jesus, it's all a little bit crazy.
With the biggest, boldest, most bearded host, Zach Walker.
The bottom line is this. If you follow the money from BLM, from Black Lives Matter, you find it ending up in the pockets of white Democrats. And really, there's nothing consistent about that, but rather it's an attempt to patronize the entire community.
In 2018, Florida voters approved a state constitutional amendment to restore convicted felons' right to vote once they complete their sentence. Now, that wording is important. The amendment allows felons to have their voting rights restored once they complete the sentence. Now, liberals immediately try to pull a fast one. They claim that even felons who had not satisfied the terms of their sentence were included in the new amendment. For example, if the felon had to pay fines or restitution to the victims as part of their sentence but didn't pay, liberals argued that that didn't matter. Why? Because it's racist to demand criminals pay fines or restitution. It keeps felons from voting because they are poor. So the Florida state legislature went to work. They passed a law clearly stating felons had to complete their sentence in full, including paying fines and restitution as required before their voting privileges would be restored. The liberals sued them, and last Thursday they lost. The Supreme Court ruled that Florida can compel felons to finish their sentence in full before voting privileges are restored. And the liberals are outraged as usual. They were counting on the criminal vote to put them over the top in the November elections. Felons are one of the Democrats' most important voting blocs. Hillary desperately needed them. The criminals know it, and now they're frozen out, at least in Florida. Good riddance. CBD getting a lot of attention these days. Level Select CBD is a brand to watch from Cadenwood, the trusted leader in CBD. Their sports creams and roll-ons are great for pro athletes, amateurs, anybody trying to keep active. No matter what activity you engage in, you could use the relief Level Select CBD provides. Retired athletes like Steve Garvey and Carson Palmer use it every day. And now, PGA Tour champion Ricky Fowler has made Level Select CBD his brand of choice, too. They use it because it works, folks. Independently tested, 0% THC, made in the USA. Go to levelselectcbd.com, use the promo code CBD25 for 25% off any of their full line of CBD products. That's levelselectcbd.com, promo code CBD25, or dial pound 250 on your cell phone, say Level Select, and this offer will be sent right to your phone.
You will have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from Level Select.
For up-to-the-minute news, log on to WVNN.com. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Hometown Heartbeat. I'm your big, beautiful, bearded host, Zach Walker. Checking in with producer Connor, DJ Dallas, and our guest host for the day, Derek Cox. Derek, you're doing a great job, buddy.
Hey, thanks, boss.
No problem. Keep up the good work. This is our proverbial pat on the butt. Hashtag me too. If you have something to say, which you're not, look, people, you need to, I know it's Monday morning, but pick up your phone and freaking call us here. This might be the first show ever that we end up with no callers, and that would be a sad, sad morning. Be a sad morning.
Makes me feel bad.
It does, and it may be your fault.
It could be my fault. I
apologize. Probably is your fault. 1-866-494 WVNN, 1-866-494-WVNN. Give us a call. You're definitely going to want to comment on this one here. And look, we are making a concerted effort to be less about politics and more about other things. But I told you, as always, we will always jump into current events and off of a real website, real news.
Not The Onion.
No. Black Power Naps. Teen Vogue article explains a new way to, quote, fight systemic racism during sleep.
We've done it. We've cured racism in America.
On Thursday's episode of The News and Why It Matters, which I guess is some show or thing, I've never seen it, Sarah Gonzalez, Grant Stinchfield, and Jocko Bouyen, that's a terrible name, discussed a Teen Vogue article arguing that black employees should be given time off for power naps as reparations for the sleep deprivation of slaves.
I'm shocked.
I'm trying to choose my words carefully. So I pulled up. Well, let me back up. In this clip, the panel discussed black power naps created by Fanny Sosa and Navilde Acosta. They tackle systemic racism during sleep. Sosa and Acosta claimed the idea, quote, came from an understanding that the American dream is a sleepless one. Quote, we inherited this exhaustion, Sosa said. I'm assuming Sosa's a black person. We're dealing with and oh my gosh, I don't even know if I can read this out loud. Quote, we are dealing with an inheritance of sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation was a deliberate tactic of slave owners to basically make the mind feeble. The same tactic has only evolved. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Connor, how does that, just curiosity here, how does that hit you?
I mean, I don't think there's and look, I'm more sympathetic to I'm not in favor of them, but I'm more sympathetic to reparations than you might expect. But this is what, like, it's ridiculous.
Sympathetic to reparations. I feel like we need to dive into that at some point. But
I'm not saying I'm in favor of them.
I
I'm just like
easy.
I kind of understand.
Sounds like you're in favor of it.
You can understand the arguments. What you're saying.
Yeah.
Hey, take a woosah, Connor. I wasn't saying that you were in favor of them. Okay, do your labor breathing.
He needs a nap.
He probably does. He's going to argue that I have sleep deprived him. Therefore, he needs power naps at school when he goes back. All right. So let me back up. The premise of this, and I pulled up the actual Teen Vogue article. What a reputable organization that is. Mm-hmm. Oh man. Okay, so let me just read you one line here. Fanny Sosa and Navilde Acosta were tired, but it wasn't just any old fatigue. Yes, they experienced a lack of sleep, but they were specifically experiencing a generational fatigue familiar to black people and people of color. First of all, you can't say colored people anymore, so that's racist. From this sleeplessness, the two created black power naps. Oh, man. Okay.
So sleep hits different.
Apparently, we can fix racism in this country with a good old nap. I would like to ask you a question, Derek. I feel like I was very much sleep deprived in my military career. I don't know about you. I would be in favor of military reparations for veterans that were sleep deprived as a training tactic.
That you're not missing the beat there.
No,
at all.
it was meant to make our mind feeble.
Right.
This
not
ought to be
ready
this ought to be good here. This ought to be really good. We got Rich from Huntsville on line one. Rich, bring it in here, buddy. How are you? How was your weekend, Rich?
Everything went smooth, Zach. Everything went smooth.
I'm glad to hear it, buddy.
Yeah, man. I just have a question. Why, knowing that the Jews got reparations, what's the argument against the descendants of slaves getting reparations?
Well, the concept of you like to go to the Jews for some reason, and I don't know that's.
I mean, that's the best example.
But Rich, are you going to ask me a question, and then when I try to answer it, talk over me? Or you can pull a Don Lemon?
You said you didn't.
Are
know
you pulling
why,
a Don Lemon? I think it sounds like you're pulling a Don Lemon.
Why? Go ahead, Zach.
Thank you, Rich. I think I will. I think that the argument for reparations is, I think, like Connor said, I mean, I'm sympathetic to the argument, and I understand the concept and where it comes from. I do. And Rich, I appreciate your call and your thought-provoking questions. But the idea that a group of people that didn't, like, they're paying for a crime that they didn't. I've never owned a slave personally. My family never owned slaves. We were poor. We picked cotton. That's what our family did. I've said that on the show a million times. My great grandmother worked the fields. She died years ago at the age of like 95. Like, she worked the fields with people of all color as labor, because we were just poor people. We were labor hands. And so the concept of people paying for crimes that they didn't commit to a group of people that didn't experience them, I think that's the issue. I think the issue is it's a group of people that didn't commit the crime paying back a group of people that didn't experience the crime. That sits a little bit weird with me. I don't know.
Like, I just looked it up, and they're talking about payments to survivors of the Holocaust. Those are people who literally had their wealth, their property, their their livelihood stolen from them by a state.
Which brings me, I mentioned a podcast earlier about Isidore Banks. Isidore Banks was a wealthy black landowner in Mississippi in Arkansas, and he was lynched and killed so that corrupt white people could take his what is now multiple millions of dollars worth of land. There were in Arkansas was a beacon of hope for black people, believe it or not, in the Jim Crow South. It was a place that black people were allowed to own property, and in the Mississippi Delta, that land is so fertile. And I mean, they were so Isidore Banks actually set up a co-opt black cotton gin. All the owners were black, and all the white people, like the white farmers in town, loved working with Isidore because he was a heck of a businessman, right. And he was, but there was a sheriff in town that didn't like the fact that there was a black man wielding power, and he was murdered for his land. His land was stolen from him, and his family was left with absolutely nothing. Wow. The descendants of his family are poor, just broke people that are broke because a crime was committed.
Right.
I would have no problem with an evaluation, an investigation, a inquiry into whether or not that land was truly stolen from this man because he was black and given to rich, wealthy white people, and their family being potentially compensated for that. That would be a specific situation where, in fact, it's happened.
You have a victim.
You have a crime. And so I think the concept of sleep as a form of reparations for black sleeplessness during slavery is absurdity. I think the idea of reparations in and of itself is a very slippery slope. We got Jay on line 3. Jay, bring it in here. What you got?
Yeah, Zach. I would say I'm a black conservative. Not necessarily. I would say independent conservative. But, the whole thing of reparations, I understand the plea for white people that you didn't own slaves and things of that nature. Completely understandable. And I think for most, the whole Black Lives Matter movement and things, I think is employed by the far left, deep state, whatever you want to call it, to continue the divide and conquer method. Because once again, I would say that black people that we have the nation's ear, but there's no conversation being had.
And I think I think that's exactly. I love what you're saying, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but I did want to add, I think that what you're saying is the conversation that needs to be had, and I would even say that, I've said on the show 100 times, I want to have the conversation. I've been on the record as saying I grew up in the majority my entire life. I grew up white, middle class. I don't understand what it's like to be black in this country, and I want to understand that. I'm a Christian first and foremost, and so I want to understand what challenges have faced the black community in this country, because if we're being honest with ourselves, it has been a challenge at times. But the problem is a conversation's not what's being sought. No one is seeking a real conversation. They're pushing an agenda. So how do we get past that and move to the point where we can actually, guys like you and guys like me, we can sit down, you're black, I'm white, we can have a conversation, we can figure it out, and we can make a plan to move forward?
Well, I think it starts with conversations like this, like just being honest. I work in the construction industry, which, predominantly is a white, as far, especially in the management area, is a white industry. I'm the only black guy at my job, but, I push those conversations. And for the most part, people would not initiate them, especially with me being the only black guy. They're fearful of saying something. But like I said, I know politics is a touchy subject, but we're kind of openly talk about it. So I'm like this: if you know my heart and you know me as a person, I'm one of those people that you can have a discussion, we can agree to disagree, but I'm going to hear you.
Right.
But you will never understand where I'm coming from if we never have this conversation. And I think that's what, the powers that be, as long as they can keep us from having the conversation, as long as they can keep us separated, it's simple tactics. They're winning.
Jay, I have a question. If I were willing to have you come into the studio and sit down with me and have a conversation one morning, would you be open to it?
Oh, most definitely, man.
All right, I'm going to put you on hold and have Dallas get your phone number, and then I will reach out to you after the show's over today, and I would love to have you come in and have that conversation, because I think it is a conversation that needs to be had. So hang on, Jay. Dallas is going to get your phone number here in a minute, and we will set up a time for you to come and join us. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat on WVNN. I'm your big, beautiful, bearded host, thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker here, the big, beautiful, bearded host of WVNN's smartest show on the radio, Hometown Heartbeat. Listen, if you're building or buying or remodeling a house, the first thing you need to think about is your cabinets. You'll spend the most money there and oftentimes get the least return on your investment. Our friends at Cabinet Express Online are the only game in town that we trust here at Hometown Heartbeat. Give them a call today at 256-970-5857. Let them come out to your house, do a free consultation, 3D rendering of the home. It's absolutely beautiful. It's awesome. Their prices won't be beat, and I promise you'll be satisfied just like I was with my cabinets from Cabinet Express Online. Again, call our friends at Cabinet Express Online at 256-970-5857 or visit them on the web at cabinetsexpressonline.com. Listen, if there's one thing I know, people don't always live what they profess with their mouth, but they absolutely live what they truly believe in their heart.
Tune into Hometown Heartbeat, the smartest show on radio, every day from 5 to 7.
Look, this push to erase history, to erase the past, to erase white Jesus, it's all a little bit crazy.
With the biggest, boldest, most bearded host, Zach Walker.
The bottom line is this. If you follow the money from BLM, from Black Lives Matter, you find it ending up in the pockets of white Democrats. And really, there's nothing consistent about that, but rather it's an attempt to patronize the entire community.
WVNN.
Welcome back. Down Heartbeat. I'm your big, beautiful, bearded host, Zach, checking in with producer Connor, DJ Dallas, and Derek Cox, our guest host for today. This is our last segment of Hometown Heartbeat. I'll be with you today for Dale's show. But Derek, how you feeling so far, buddy?
I had a lot of fun. This is great. This is a good time.
He's digging it,
I'll come back if you'll have me.
Oh, I think we'll talk to the people and see if they, we'll take a vote and see. I think we can probably arrange for something to something to happen. Look, if you want to join us for the last segment, 1-866-494-WVNN, 1-866-494-WVNN. I want to address what Jay was just talking about, and Jay and I just spoke off air. He's going to come in and join us for the show one day, and I think it'll be really cool to have someone in here who's willing to have a conversation, who's willing to sit down and talk. And I'll tell you the reason why most people aren't. And that's because a conversation would yield results. Results would yield unity. Unity would usurp power.
Right.
Power, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Correct.
And so the reason that the powers that be are working to divide our country right now are because a nation divided against itself will fall. Right. And so there's a disturbing video making its rounds right now on the internet of two white people being jumped brutally at an airport with black security just standing there watching and videoing this thing. And again, it doesn't have anything to do with actually having a conversation and making a change. It has everything to do with keeping people divided and keeping power in the hands of powerful people, not in the hands of the people.
Right. Heaven forbid we're all friends.
That's correct, because then we would be really freaking powerful.
Right.
And a powerful nation, it takes power away from the powerful people.
Correct.
That run the nation, because this government is set up in such a way that we can make our voice heard. We have a caller here, Deborah, I believe, on line 4. Deborah on line 4. Bring it in here. What you got?
Well, I just wanted to say about this conversation. I work with a very diverse crowd, and I feel comfortable going in and asking them questions so that I understand what's happening. But what I've noticed a lot is people want to bring up the past as an example, so that never helps us move forward. We can only do now and change now. We are here. We can't change the past. They can tear down as many monuments as they want. We can't change that.
Well, and the truth is, thanks for the call, Deborah. The truth is that the desire is not, we never want to forget the past. I've said from the beginning of this monument teardown thing, Derek, that history is the only roadmap we have.
Correct.
From keeping us going down the same paths again.
If we lose our way, yeah.
Right.
We'll make that same left turn.
Exactly. By erasing history, you don't know which turns you made that led you down the wrong roads. Therefore, it's easy to repeat the mistakes. Who do you think gained the most by oppressing people? Those with money and those with power, regardless of race. In that situation, it was wealthy slave owners that enriched themselves on the backs of slaves. No one is arguing that was, I mean, I think I'm on record as saying it's the largest blind spot in human history outside of the Holocaust, maybe. And quite frankly, the role that the church played in that is appalling. And offensive to me as a Christian. But the reality is this: at the foot of the cross, we all stand equal before a holy God that will absolutely levy judgment in a righteous and holy way against us, and we will all stand account for what our lives look like, and the evidence of our lives will dictate our eternities. And so ultimately, this conversation of black and white and racism and reparations and slavery and all of that, again, like you said, Deborah, bringing up I understand evaluating history. That's why they teach it in school. Now, of course, they teach a very modified version of it in government schools, but that's another conversation for another day. The government school topic is you want to get the phones lit up, start talking about the government schools and the Department of Education and how it pretty much destroyed everything that the Constitution stood for in terms of letting the states dictate their school policies. But that's neither here nor there. So, look, we got a few minutes left. 1-866-494-WVNN. 1-866-494-WVNN or 678 on radio. Join us, chime in, give us your final thoughts here. But I think in this video it's terrifying to watch. It's white people being jumped simply for being white. The color of their skin dictates them worthy of an attack, physical assault. And it's a man and his girlfriend, and the man just lays on top of his girlfriend and tries to shield her from as many blows from a mob of 8 or 9 people. And security at the airport I'm looking at a snapshot of this right now. I don't know, Connor, if you can see, it's on viral video. Vicious mob. While security stands by filming, certainly don't want to put the video out. It's
just going to town.
It's brutal, but the snapshot here shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 black people on top of 2 white people, beating the ever-loving snot out of them, while 1, 2, 3 black security officers stand in the back with their phones up, filming,
just documenting the whole process.
And if that's the way that we are going to conduct business in this country, we will never unify anything.
No.
And it's not about unifying. If we're being honest, people don't want unity.
No, they want likes and clicks.
They want they want division, because division creates. Yeah, I mean it's all this big convoluted system that is I don't know. They're getting what they want right now.
Absolutely.
Because come November, they want us as divided as humanly possible.
Correct.
Which is why you should vote for Kanye and the birthday party.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do $1 million. Come on, let's go.
That's what I'm saying. Basic universal income at $1 million to start out at $1 million
per kid.
Oh, per kid. I only have one, but I'll take one. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd take $1 million tomorrow.
Move on interest, right?
In case if you want to send $1 million, I can give you my PayPal. I have no problem.
Get a GoFundMe going?
Yeah, GoFundMe. Listen, if you want to add your thoughts to the show, you can email us at SHOW at thehometownheartbeat.com. The best way to get in touch with us is thehometownheartbeat.com. Click on Contact Us. You can go to the top there. You can watch live. You can listen live, or do us a humongous favor. If you like the show, which of course you like the show, and you want to keep the show on the air, go to the podcast. Wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Hometown Heartbeat with Zach Walker. Click on that. Subscribe. Give us a rating. Share it with your friends. Tell people about the crazy bearded guy that wakes up way too early and talks into this microphone for 2 hours a day. Let them know that we want them. I mean, look, this show is about you guys. It's for you guys, and it's with you guys that we do this show. You're the most important radio audience in the world. Also, the smartest radio audience in the world, which is only fitting for the smartest show on radio. Derek, what do you think, man? How's your first day?
I had a lot of fun. It was a much different format than what I was expecting. Once you get past the first hour, I'm kind of in the moment right now. I'm gelled in.
But I mean, so what do you say different format? What were you expecting, like more planning?
Well, yeah, I guess that one of the things, you assume there's going to be a list of talking points we're going to go through, a little show prep, so to speak. And I'm not saying we didn't do any show prep. We came in here and we talked.
Laughing with your microphone off does me no good. How many times do I have to tell you, laughing with your microphone off does me no good? No, you're exactly right. And that's one thing that we're working on and diving more into. But really what we wanted to understand was what do the people want to hear? because we've been a little more politics at times, and we've been a little less politics at times, and we're trying to find that happy medium because people don't want politics all the time.
It can get overwhelming. I actually turn the news off on the weekends.
Well, not only that, but there's a bunch of shows on this station that already are overwhelmingly political, and in a good way. I mean, that's what they are, but that's not necessarily what we are. We're more stream of consciousness. We could talk about my low testosterone. We could talk about being
low T.
Yeah, low T.
You got a cream for that?
No, actually, I got injections for that.
Ooh,
but yeah,
crazy.
it was awful. For 40 days, I busted my butt, worked out, ate right, did everything I was supposed to do, didn't lose a pound, was tired, fatigued. Doctor was like, we need to do some blood work. So yeah, I mean, we talk about. I mean, it's our lives here. My son and what it's like to have a 4-year-old and having complete strangers show up and guest host shows with us.
I won't lie. I actually enjoyed the idea of just two people having a conversation and just like, how's your day going? Like, how are you doing?
Well, that's what people
How
want
is
to
the
hear.
community doing? How's your town doing? That sort of stuff really matters a lot to me because I'm a small town boy.
We've got the mayor coming by at 7:30. Mayor of Athens coming by. We've got so it's all about the town. It's hometown heartbeat, right? It's your hometown. It's your tribe. Derek Cox, thank you for joining us this morning. Producer Connor, great job as always. DJ Dallas, thehometownheartbeat.com. Listen to the podcast. Download the podcast. Email us show@thehometownheartbeat.com. You're listening to the Hometown Heartbeat on WVNN. I'm your big beautiful bearded host, and we will see you tomorrow.